All right, so we're gonna experiment with the scratching painting. Instead of space drawing, we're gonna do the night cityscape. So it's important kind of to think of colors that we're putting at the bottom. But since it's fireworks, it can be very, very colorful, you know? And when I'm putting those, I really want to put them like really, so not with a thin layer, but kind of lots of, and I can mix also. So what I have to do now is just cover all my cover it all differently. So we've talked that we're gonna either have here some houses at the bottom. So I can also think maybe they're gonna be yellow windows in them, but also maybe light blue ones. Yeah. So it is important a bit to think about colors at the bottom, but like not like must, you know, it's because scratching it still will look cool. When I'm putting my oil pastels, it's very handy to change direction because then it helps me to cover the emptinesses. Yeah, so if I'm moving my hand always one direction, and then I just kind of do it in the other direction, so a bit like perpendicular. And yeah, then it helps me cover much better my. Yeah, and no rush, just have fun coloring. And yeah, the crayon is getting very quickly. So just taking off paper to. Oh. Yeah, and remember that you can mix the crayons, and this is also cool. Yeah, probably your hand will be very tired, but you can do it. Yeah, and the better you cover your paper, the nicer will be the effect. Yeah, and again, remember to change the direction, then your emptinesses, yeah, you can cover better. And what else I also do, I like to take a little white crayon, and then I go on top almost everything, and then it also kind of a little bit lightens up, a bit unites the paints.
I think I'm finished.
Ooh, that's quick. Nice, nice, nice. Huh?
I am not.
Yeah. Take your time, Ellie. It's not an easy job. I'm also still doing. I'm still also like pretty much making sure it's all nicely covered. Okay. Yeah, and since we've seen the examples, so actually it can be both. It can be black and dark blue. Yeah, I agree that on blue it looks, I'm sorry, on black it looks much more, maybe, yeah, more contrast, it's darker, but blue also gives nice effect. So maybe we can put black for the sky and yeah, so take your time to finish, then let me know once you're ready. So how it looks on your side, girls?
For me, it looks good.
And Ellie?
I don't know, but this is how mine.
Oh, nice one.
Oh. Oh gosh, this is not good.
Yeah, it
I
can
got
be.
pastel all over my sleeve.
Hmm. Yeah.
I'm done with mine. It just like I feel like when I was trying to do it because I had no action like it didn't really look too good because like it's just a lot of orange and I feel like I want to work on it more and put more yellow into it because the blue like and then like if the blue and the orange mixed it made a really dirty color.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yellow helps a lot. Also white in between can also work well. And actually good you've said. I'm gonna put maybe a little bit also of blue in my sky, maybe. Thinking. Maybe I put some bluish. We edited. Yeah, yellow is always the saver. Like if in some moment you make it a bit too dark, and actually with almost with everything, not only oil pastels like crayons, but also paints. And at once it makes more sunshine, the painting. All right. And yeah, and I've tried both. I've tried with gouache and I've tried with acrylics. And actually both of them work nicely. So yeah, it doesn't matter which one you have. Yeah, so like, I'm not sure, are you sometimes using gouache? Here it's like says gouache. Yeah, it's something in between watercolors and acrylics. So these ones are kind of, they use it for school a lot. So it's more like children paints. And yeah, so they're also water-based, but they're just not as transparent as watercolors are.
Should we use black or gray for this?
Say again, Juliet?
Should we use black or a very dark gray for this?
I'd say so definitely not gray because it really has to work on contrast. So I would use definitely black, and I think I will add a little bit this dark blue also. So just maybe to play a little bit, maybe where the house is. I'll see, just as an experiment, but definitely it should be all very dark, just as here on this space painting. Yeah. And yeah, I will also start like, I will show how to mix just slowly, just so, yeah, but Ellie, no worries, take your time to finish. Yeah, so also not too much water because we really want the layer to be thick, meaning not too transparent. Yeah, and actually with the soap, like don't use water now, just put paint and soap, and then it should be like liquid enough to be able to cover. Yeah, to be able to cover the food. So here I've put here I have my black. Here I also have a pile of this blue. I'll do them both at the same time. Yeah. And well, yeah, so take a look, girls. So here I have my soap, just simple soap that I have in a bathroom. And I just squeeze here a bit of soap. Yeah, so here. It doesn't have to be much, like, yeah, it feels 50%, still maybe a bit more paint than soap. Yeah. And then I just mix it. Here. Wow. I prepared my mix. Yeah, so I haven't even used the, okay, I've put blue, but it's all anyway got covered with my black. But still, anyway, maybe it will have a bit more bluish feeling. Yeah, and this is all I mix. And then just what I do, I just cover everything here with this black. Yeah, and also remember, yeah, when sometimes when we put the paint and then it kind of with the brush, it starts moving out, so we start seeing what's at the bottom. It means then just kind of stop moving your brush, and then you wait a little bit till it's dry, and then you can put on top one more layer in case it was transparent. Yeah, meaning that just when it's too also liquidish, it won't help keep on moving the brush in the same spot, so you will like never win. The paint will still be moving. So the clever decision is just to stop, let it dry. Yeah, all very ooh, yeah, I hope it will. Yeah, so also not too much water, because then you need to wait also longer till it's dry. The general also, of course, not a problem. You just go drink some tea, but yeah, so here I've put also, and I will let it dry. Ooh, very dark. Next time I really want to experiment to do the opposite, is to put dark colors at the bottom and then on top actually color with white, and then actually you can get a bit like snowy story. So you're leaving white as snow and you're scratching out some shapes also of houses, maybe some landscape, and then it feels a snowy story. So this one I can move a bit to this side. I don't need it anymore. And yeah, so I will be waiting till it's dry. I'll put it now like this. So I let it 1 second. Yeah, so definitely take your time. And also let it dry. Yeah, and then we're gonna do the sketch meanwhile. And in case it's like, you know, we're already done, you can always dry it a little bit with hair dryer. I mean, it's just like as an option, but I'm sure we can be patient enough. So here I can.
Why do you need soap with it?
Well, it helps so that it scratches easier. I've tried both with and without. Without soap, it can work, but scratching then it's a bit more. Then it maybe depends more on paint, and sometimes it destroys paper a bit. Soap just helps, yeah. I can't answer on this chemical thing why exactly, but so well, I'm just gonna be here playing around a little bit with my sketch. So anyway, I liked a little bit idea of also the river, because also where I live, and when it's Independence Day, then we also have fireworks, and usually it always happens at the riverside. So all people go to this long riverside along the river, and everyone is watching the fireworks there. So I'm gonna let it also. So I'm gonna have a little bit here in the part of river, and my cityscape I'm gonna make like behind the river. So I'm also gonna have those houses. Huh? And actually, I'm gonna Google very quickly a little bit my cityscape, but you can have the houses that you want. Yeah, so generally just like doing the silhouette. So. Okay, so mine one gonna be something like this. Because my town has lots of towers of churches, and I'm gonna try to show it. Yeah, so it's also a good moment while waiting till it's dry to think, to plan your story. What's your
My painting over it. Also, something I noticed when I mixed my Prussian blue with soap, I just started doing it again to make it darker, and it just dried so quickly. Like it's basically like
like few minutes?
Yes. It's really quick.
Nice
Raw.
observation. I think also you're right. Soap kind of helps maybe that it dries quicker. Because I also am taking a look at my preparation, and it's kind of progressing very quickly. Yeah. Something like this, or here we go. Right, so I have chosen a little bit the houses I want, but it's still, yeah, so it's a sketch, meaning you will see when you're gonna start scraping out, anyway, you're gonna have the yeah, and then here I'm gonna have those fireworks. Yeah, I can also, like, while waiting, practice a bit what kind of different fireworks can be. Yeah, so it can be maybe something like this. Or film and different, and with some yeah, and like fireworks. So at the bottom, they usually like going out like long lines, and then they are ending in those. Yeah, so here I got a little bit like some different types of fireworks. Maybe something also like spiral stuff can be. It can be also those round things like Van Gogh style, you know, the way he likes it. Yeah, and then also remember, then we can play with the thickness of the lines. But once you start, you're gonna see it.
How about we also make like, oh no.
Yeah.
What I was thinking is we could also make the moon.
But definitely such an awesome idea. How could I have forgotten about the moon? So definitely before making fireworks, plan the place for the moon.
It would also be cool because like then you could also like it could also look like it was thrown because of the fireworks.
Yeah. You see how awesome ideas you get. Yes. Yeah, and I think what I'm gonna also do, like here, my sketch showed me that actually my river and my city are too high and too big. So I'm gonna leave like much less space for river, and my city I'm gonna make also a bit more lower. So the place for the sky will be bigger. So let's say if I do again so if this is my paper, like here I'm gonna do some river, and then here I'm gonna do my even smaller, all my houses it covers. I think it can look also nicer if it's a bit smaller. So And then here I'll have, so I have more space for the sky. Yeah, so so this is why our sketch is also important. Helps you understand about composition and, you know, not to get wrong, because in scraping, I have one goal. Yeah, you can't really start putting it back. And for scraping, it's also kind of, you can experiment what works better for you. For example, I use, the best for me is my metallic pellet knife. But I think actually maybe the plastic one also should work. If not, like scissors can also be an option for a good scraping. Maybe the other end of the brush, if it's sharp enough. Yeah, so just kind of can try one thing, see how it works. If it's not working like very nice, you can just change and try. Yeah, but it should be some sharp thing. Ellie, how are you doing? Have you also covered your paper and it's drying already?
Yeah.
Huh?
But I just finished.
Awesome, very nice. Yeah, you can also, for example, like check how your paper is drying. First, of course, you can touch it with your finger. Yeah, if you're getting nothing back, says it's dry. And also you can kind of, you can look at parallel, like turn your head parallel to the table and see, and then those spot areas that you still see shiny, it means there is still wet, and the rest that is not shiny anymore, then it means it's dry. Like at my part, I see just these two shiny spots, it means there is still wet, so it means it was more paint there, and the rest on my side is also almost dry.
I tried to scratch a dry area, but nothing came off.
Oh my god. Okay, let me try mine one. It depends also. Try maybe scratching with different stuff, like yeah, sometimes maybe like I think what like scissors are working almost always. Yeah, so let me try doing my one. So the moment of truth. Look. Yeah, check it out, check it out. In general, it should work. Yeah, maybe definitely just like what you're scratching also with. Yeah, really hope it's gonna work. Oh, it would be shame it.
It didn't work. It just started scratching off paper.
Oh, girls. So I'm trying to understand what was this thing? Why didn't?
Maybe it was because it wasn't oil pastels, but I do know a different way. Maybe you can get a smaller piece of paper. I'll wait for this to dry and then I'll paint over it with a I don't know, white or something.
Okay, yeah. Mhm.
It kind of worked. I just have to use the scissors not as strong.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, scissors not to damage the paper, but more like lightly. Why I said scissors because they're like definitely sharp enough. But yeah, think maybe some little stick. Sometimes maybe old credit card can also work well. Depends. And
At least use a toothpick.
yeah.
I'm thinking I'm going to paint or like I'm going to paint something underneath this. And then I'm going to cover it with tape and then I'll paint over it.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Let's try if it, yeah, hopefully works. Yeah, but I'm still thinking there should be some reason why sometimes it's not working. But sometimes it works really, it depends on. Yeah, but anyway, it's always experiment.
Looks like I'm bleeding. It's actually just rose colored paint. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, this is also, you see, like once you get the idea how it works, then instead of putting like all the colors, you can choose, let's say you can go just with pinkish purplish thing, or maybe it can also be just one color as well. Yeah, so it's just, of course, like for the first time to try, it's fun to experiment with all those colors as fireworks. But later, ooh, you can have so much stuff to experiment.
Look what I did.
Oh, okay.
She pushed down so hard she bent it. We can unbend it.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, I did unbend it. Ellie, give it to me.
Give it to me now. Remember the pigeons and the hot dog?
Ellie, we're unmuted.
I made it. It's like, give it to me now. And then the other pigeon's like, no.
The older sister just wants to help. But yeah, my plastic ones, they usually break, but nice metallic ones, they just bend. That's true. Oh, okay, I'm gonna go a little bit slowly for my fireworks. I'm gonna clean a bit. Yes, also when you're scraping, think about the thickness of the lines, yeah, that you can control it. So where you need it, you put thicker.
I think now I'm gonna plan out what I want it to look like.
But the scraping works for you, Ellie.
Kind of does. Like if you just do it super hard. One
I've been
thing that I guess is that RJ was using different paper than me. So maybe because it was so bumpy, it was like so hard to scrape.
I see.
Or she just used a thicker layer of paint.
Yes, curiously, really need to discover why in one moment it works. But yeah, good job, Juliet, on trying.
Actually, I know a really good way to make stars and fireworks.
Yeah.
What you do is first you draw a plus, and then you draw an X over it, and then you make like some lines on the outside, and it kind of looks like it's shining.
Cool. Thanks a lot for the tips, Ellie. I'm gonna try it out. But before, almost again have forgotten about the moon. So before my sky is full, I'm gonna add the moon.
I'm waiting for my black to dry on this paper, and then I'm gonna paint other stuff on it, and then I'll cover it up with tape, and I can uncover it.
Oh, okay. Curious.
I don't know. This is a new idea. I don't think I'll be able to do it because I just keep thinking of new ideas from older paintings. Like
Uh-huh.
the moon, like the person sitting by the constellation. Now I think I want to make a person or something.
But actually, Ellie, I like it. And I actually want to also add the person sitting in the boat, watching the fireworks from the boat from my river. Thanks for the tips.
Yeah, and they're just gonna be colorful. It'll be cool though. So will the moon. I just hope people can tell it's a moon, not a crescent-shaped firework.
Yep. And of course, those long lines, they work also like look nicely with as a firework, like going from down thin and maybe on top they become more bigger. Yeah, and also thinking about a bit size, so not making all the fireworks the same size, but one can have like very big that it can even touches and covers some others. Yeah, so they're like interfering one another. How are you doing, Juliet? I'm a bit worried about your experiment.
I think I'm ready to start painting over the black and then the tape.
Okay. Mhm.
I am done.
What show me if you're done, please.
I'm not done, but I just finished doing the drawing that I think I'm gonna try and recreate on like this paper thing.
Perfect.
That's
I
it.
understand. Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna scratch it.
Awesome. Nice one, Ellie. Go for it.
Still shiny,
Mhm.
one part of it.
Yeah, so now when you're gonna start scratching, yeah, really think about the thickness of the lines. You can make like lots of different effects. Somewhere I scratch a bit more, somewhere I scratch a bit less, somewhere my line is more thin, and somewhere it's even really like just I can't hear you, Ellie, if you were saying something, sorry. No, that sounds for me. Good, good, good.
So wasteland, are you talking about the pastel wastelands? I don't even know what that is.
Oh, I didn't understand what you what was about. Okay, too many fireworks on my artwork already. Too much. But okay. Yay. Oh, it is messy a bit. Have to clean all the and the favorite process of taking the tape off. Yeah. Yep. That's one. Juliet also is taking something off. Nice. Interesting. All righty, I'll stop recording, but we can still continue.